Justin Baldoni's team tried serving Taylor Swift deposition papers at 2 in the morning. Let's get into it. First, let's go over what happened, and then I'll tell you my theory. September 15th at 2 a.m., Justin Fisher, a former cop, was arrested in front of Travis Kelce's house after he had climbed over the gated property. The Star notes that this is 2 days after the judge, they quote, overseeing the defamation claim, denied a request to depose Taylor Swift. However, we know that he did not deny the deposition. They denied the extension for the deposition. That's a very key, important detail. So how they're wording it, already, red flag, red flag. Another red flag, this is a Star exclusive. And for anyone confused, because I know you might not be from Kansas City like I am, this is not like the Kansas City Star. This has no affiliation with Kansas City. It's noted that the person reporting to the police was someone from Taylor's security team. They also note down here, quote, the details of the incident were suspiciously missing from the one-page document stating in bold letters, this information is restricted. Again, more red flags, red flag. Again, they note that all of this information was exclusively obtained by the Star. All right. But another red flag, they state that they actually texted Justin, but they don't give any detail of when this text exchange was going on. Did it happen after bail? If so, how long? No details whatsoever of when this was, but apparently he texted them and stated, I'll be happy to talk to you about it when it is resolved. I wasn't hurt or anything besides being arrested for doing my job and possibly losing my license. They go on to give further details about Justin, stating that he was a former cop from 2013 to 21 before he went part-time. That is until 2023 when his license was revoked for 5 years following a DV incident with his wife. Again, more important detail. Starting off with the obvious, this doesn't sound like something that is in Justin's playbook, because at every turn we've seen text messages where they've been trying to go about things the correct way. So serving someone at 2 in the morning does not sound like in their forte, nor does it sound like something that they would tell someone to go do. Also, for Taylor's side, she has had stalker experiences, so I completely understand why she would assume the worst if someone is climbing over a fence at 2 in the morning. So just throwing that out there. Now on to the other suspicious factors. I'm not sure how the Star got this exclusive to begin with, let alone got this information. Here's a few reasons why. Number one, if you go to the Leawood police website, they state that arrest reports, only the arrested person and their attorneys are allowed to obtain arrested reports. So, not sure how they got that. The only thing that they might have gotten was the fact sheet, but again, that's not even something I've been able to find. So again, not sure how they got this. Even if they requested it, how did they know to request this information? I did confirm from the Leawood police map that yes, the incident did happen. I blurred out where it shows Travis Kelce's address, but it did happen. Now, something I found odd was the news stations in Kansas City, Leawood, Kansas, no one has covered this. Why is it that we haven't covered this, but the Star is covering it? Because let me show you their address. The ones with the exclusive news about this are from New York. So because I was actually already on a whole rabbit hole with the Van Sham lawsuit because I got a request to cover it, I looked up the address from the Van Zan, documents to this, and here's what I found. They are 6 minutes away from each other, just around the corner from each other. The Star and apparently Van Zam. What a coincidence. So again, I ask you, how is it that a magazine company from New York got an exclusive information about something that happened in Leawood, Kansas? Something that not even Kansas is discussing right now. Something that I haven't even been able to find these documents. So whatever exclusive documents that they had that they didn't reveal to the public, they also are not able to be found. So I find that highly, highly suspicious. This next part is by no means confirmed, but I thought it was odd and something worth bringing up. When I tried finding connections between the author of that article and Ryan and Blake, this popped up and it kept connecting back to an article from Variety stating that the author, Doug, was the one and the journalist that Ryan reached out to regarding his interview with John Candy. Now, whether or not this is actually the journalist that made the comments or the one that Ryan actually spoke to, by no means confirmed, but I thought it was odd that out of all people, it would be tagging him in this. So I wasn't able to find too much on Doug, so I started digging further into any of the other authors from the Star that covered the deposition with Taylor Swift. And I found Olivia. She's written many favorable articles about Blake, Taylor, and Ryan, and she just so happens to be an aspiring actress. When I looked into some of the acting training that she's done so far, I found some clues that may, lead somewhere. It might be a coincidence, it might not be, but something worth to mention. So let's talk about Anthony. He's worked for Marvel and DC. Who else worked for Marvel? Oh, Ryan. He's also featured in Law & Order multiple times. And when I went to his Instagram, he's following Ryan. Anthony did congratulate Olivia on getting signed to an agency. When I looked further into Tom Buck, he also has been featured on Law & Order multiple times. Now here's why that's important. Who do we know that's a huge fan of Olivia Benson from Law & Order? Taylor Swift. So much so that she named one of her cats after her. Now, sure, you might be thinking, oh, this is all a coincidence. Well, I looked at the agency that she's signed to. So I looked at some of the clients that the agency has had in the past, and look at that, Paramount. Who else has worked with Paramount and still has a deal with Paramount? Ryan. When I looked at some of the shows they've worked on, Law & Order, and then, oh look, Selena Gomez. With all that being said, here's my theory. And this is all just, throwing questions in the air, just my thoughts. Is it possible that because Blake hasn't been able to find any dirt on Justin from his past to present, and nobody is coming forward to claim that Justin has done any egregious acts, that now she's had to create a situation? Now, it's not, beyond Blake to go and do something against Taylor if she was trying to allegedly blackmail her and say, you need to, come out and publicly side with me or I'm going to disclose and leak 10 years of text messages. So is it possible that Blake, created and manufactured, hired this person to play it off like he, is from Justin's team to do this, to go to get Taylor? Now, whether or not Taylor knew about this or not, I have no idea. And the reason I think that, I'm not just kissing Justin's butt here, is having all the details of you have the Star being the one that is the exclusive to this story when they are far as you can possibly be from Kansas. How they even got this information in the first place. And then you think about the connections with Ryan from the other writer, it all starts to add up. On top of it, they hired somebody with a record of DV to do this. Why would Justin knowingly go and hire somebody to do a deposition that has a record of DV? Just a thought. And when you look at what media outlets are covering the story now, even hours later, you've got TMZ, People, US Weekly, but none are any news outlets from Kansas or Kansas City. None of them are covering this. The Leawood police did not even make a post regarding anything about Travis Kelce and them going to his house. Nothing like that. And I can tell you, Kansas City makes all kinds of posts about up to date on what kind of crime is going on in the area and so forth. Whether it be from the police outlets or other Facebook groups, there are so many different ways of how this could have been out there and been told by anyone from this area. No one in my area is talking about this. So again, I just find it highly suspicious. Not saying that this is what happened, but it's just a theory that I have. There's a lot of red flags. What do you think? As always, this is all alleged, so take it with a grain of salt. None of this is confirmed for sure. Got to say that because they like to sue. But anyways, this is all alleged. Take it with a grain of salt. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you find anything else, and follow me for more.